What happens if you do 50 pull-ups every single day for 45 days? Let's find out. What is going on, guys? Average Joe here, just trying to get a little bit above average every single day. Love to experiment, love to bring you guys the latest stuff. And today we are talking about pull-ups, right? One thing that majority of us are pretty bad at, and one thing that all of us can use work on, that is a huge movement for anything that we are trying to do, whether it be mobility, whether it be strength, or whether it be flexibility, which I guess that and mobility are kind of the same, but a little bit different. Number one, kind of obvious, being able to do more pull-ups. This is something that I've struggled with my entire life. 5 pull-ups, 5 was a big number for me. Being able to do 5 body weight pull-ups in a row. Now I'm doing sets of 10, and I could probably push it to about sets of 15 now. I'm hoping to get to sets of 20 because I'm still continuing this on, being that this was such a huge win for me. So does that mean that I started out doing 10, 15 reps in a row? Of course not. I set my goal at 50 and I got there however long it took. The first day, it was about 12 minutes and I was doing sets of 5. Sets of 5, rest. Sets of 5, rest. Now these are wide grip, controlled pull-ups. I wanted to do them controlled, not all jerky, not just trying to get through the movement, because I wanted to prove to myself that this was worth it. So find what rep range works for you and just find a target rep. Mine was 50. Yours could be 100, could be 75, could be 30. Doesn't matter. Just do it, because by the end of 45 days, that number had went up dramatically, and I'm so glad it did. So find what number hits your goals and then find the rep ranges to work in. Try to keep it within that 10 to 15 minute mark. And that could be 2 at a time, 3 at a time, 1 at a time. Does not matter. You are going to get better. Just stick with it. Now, number 2 is a really controversial one, in the fact that a lot of people don't understand body mechanics, right? We hear overtraining and we think to ourselves, well, if you're doing the same movement over and over again, you're overtraining. And that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. What overtraining is keeping that same intensity, that same volume every single day or over and over again. And the majority of us, when we get into a bodybuilding cycle or something like that that's not really mapped out, we just kind of like, we're gonna do a push-pull legs and we kind of walk into the gym and we do whatever we want. Majority of us are overtraining. You're doing that 6 days a week or whatever. You could probably get the same amount of success in 4 days that you do in 6. You're just giving yourself another 2 days of just stress on your body. It's really unnecessary. But coming back to overtraining, this is where you kind of mix up your rep ranges. You mix up your intensity. One day you're gonna go all out. You're gonna just keep going to failure. Mark that number down. My failure in the beginning was 6 to 8 reps. So I knew that that was my failure day. The next day, I might do sets of 4. The following day, I might do sets of 6. Day after that, I might do sets of 3 and just cut the rest time in between. So you see how the intensity is going up and down, but I'm still getting to that 50 number, that number that I set in my mind, that number that's gonna get me to reach the goal that I wanted to, or at least get to the end of this experiment and see if I had something real here or not. An important thing to touch on with this overtraining type of thing is you're actually putting yourself at less risk of an injury than more. By doing a movement like a pull-up, like push-ups, these are body weight exercises. If you've ever heard of like the term farmer strong, right? A lot of young guys who farm every day, they're doing the same movements over and over again. They're baling hay and they're twisting. They're twisting this way. They're digging. They're shoveling out, they're mucking out stalls, horse stalls, and they're doing the same movements over and over and over again. And yet we don't say they're overtraining because it's work, because it's just what they do. And these guys build the strongest cores. They have the strongest backs. Like, they look great, and they're just strong as an ox. You hear about, guys that have been farming for a long time. And there's a reason for that, because they're doing those exercises that build up the core, that build up the back. They're doing them every single day without stop. And their body adapts to it, and their body just gets stronger and stronger. And you can use that same principle with push-ups, pull-ups, even squats, deadlifts, bench press, not for a long period of time when you're actually adding weights on, but you can do it for short bursts, for cycles, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks, and then deload. Things like that. Keep that in mind to kind of progress yourself through the next 6 months, the next year. Maybe throw that in here and there. Number 3, and this is something that everybody wants. You're going to build the physique that you're looking for. You're going to build a strong back. You're going to build a powerful back, but you're also going to build a better looking back. There is nothing that builds your traps, builds your upper back, builds the width on your back like pull-ups. And you can always add a weighted vest. You can always add a belt around you and just add weight to it. So you can always keep progressing with that. So it's not like you just have to do 50 body weights or 75 body weights or 100 like I did. I got to the end of 45 days and I was doing 100 in 10 minutes, which is spectacular for me. I could not be happier. But I also know that my bench press is gonna go up. If you look at a bench press, when you're doing it correctly, your back should be flat, your scapula is retracted. That's on the bench. That's your foundation. Think of it as if you were building a house. Would you just build a house on the ground? No, you pour a foundation. You pour something sturdy to build off of, because that's what's gonna keep the house upright. Same thing with a bench. Same thing with a squat. You have a nice wide, thick back. That thickness, that strength in your back is going to allow you to put more weight on. Your legs can handle way more weight than any part of your body. It's usually your core, it's usually your back, it's usually your shoulders that stop you from squatting more. It's very rarely is it ever your legs. So just by a simple pull-up exercise, doing it every single day or doing it every other day, can make those numbers dramatically increase. And you make your bench and your squat increase, guess what? Your deadlift goes up, your shoulder press goes up, your whole strength in your whole body goes up from just doing pull-ups. I hope you guys got something out of this. Help each other, stay positive, and get out there and try to get a little bit better each and every day. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next one.